bait caster just sitting in your closet or your basement, why not use it? It's really simple to get a dusty bait caster to work when you're ready for fishing season. And all you need is some light cleaning, some lubricant, and some lime. Now today I will be cleaning, lubricating, and showing you how to line a bait caster. First, I'll start with cleaning it. To clean it, you're going to want to make sure there's no dust on the outside. It's an easy way to start. Just get a cloth and start wiping around the outside. And if you want to, you can add a bit of alcohol on it, which it was leaking, so there's already some on here. Just wipe around the outside. Try to get as much dust off or dirt as possible with just wiping it. And then next, you want to take the spool out of the middle. On mine, there's a little clip down here that you push forward and you twist this down and it pulls straight out. Now, I'm going to be careful because there's a bunch of gears and stuff in here. You don't want to break it. And the brakes. Now, inside the bait caster, you want to clean mostly the metal areas because that is where all the movement will be happening. So I got some Q-tips right here. Use a little bit of the alcohol on the Q-tips and rub around near the metal areas and areas that moving parts would be on. And then you also want to clean the spool right in this area right here, because we're also going to be, the areas I'm cleaning are the areas I'm going to lubricate as well. And you also want to clean the brakes. Mine has weird brakes, and you can pull them up like this, and then clean into the middle of here. And then you also want to clean this other piece right here, and clean in the middle as much as you can on the outside in this area. And then go in with a Q-tip, clean the metal part. Okay. Now I'm going to lubricate it. I have some Lew's Super Duty real oil. You don't need Super Duty, but you can just get some normal real oil. I just use this because it lasts longer, but it also is it kind of attracts dirt more, so you have to be careful. You don't want to use a lot of it. Be very light on it. So you can start with lubricating this shaft right here. Very little bit on the end. And you can use this towel to spread it out along there so it's not as gunky. And then you also want to lubricate in the gearing in here. I think there's a little bearing in here that you want to lubricate right along in here. And then you go in there with a Q-tip to spread it around. Now, you also want to lubricate this part in here that goes back and forth. Just a little bit on both the plastic and the metal part. And then just give it a few good spins to spread it out. And then you can also lubricate the brake right here. Now, like I was saying before, it isn't a huge issue if you do over lubricate it, but you'll just have to clean it more often. And I like cleaning it like once a year, so I'm not gonna overdo it. Now, make sure to put this in. I think it only goes in one way, So you put it back in here carefully, and then pull it up a little bit through here. Make sure you don't want your line, you don't want it going out here, because then when you put it back together, it'll snag on it, and it won't be able to go through the hole. Now you can just put this piece back on like this, put it up and lock it. Okay. And to finish off, I'm going to show you how to line it, which this reel already is lined, but I'm going to explain how you can do it yourself. So personally, I tie this onto the reel in the middle right here. I just tie it like two, I don't know if you're supposed to, but I tie it with 2 double knots, and then I put a little bit of tape on it so that it stays just enough so that I can put a bunch on it. And the main part you got to worry about when putting line on is you always have to keep tension, which I'll show you once I get this through here and put it back on my rod. You always have to keep tension on the line while you're putting it through, or it'll bird's nest on you very often. So the reason I brought the rod with today is because it makes it a lot easier, like I said, to line it, because it's like it's a handle for one. So get your line out. You can put it through this first hole right here, and then say you have a bunch of line out here. You get your towel. Now you want to use a towel because it will cut right into your fingers if you're just holding this with bare hands. And you want to make sure there are breaks on here, right? Mine are right here. You want it to be pretty tight, tighter than normal, so that it can be very tight on the line. This is whenever you're reeling it in, so it doesn't stay loose. You want it to be on as tight as possible. You hold it like that. I personally have it upside down, and then you want to hold it. You reel it all the way in, and then you're done, and then you can go fishing. Hopefully hopefully if you have a bait caster, this could help you, so you could go fishing. And if you follow these steps, you should have a good fishing season. Thanks for listening to my speech.